Cybersecurity can feel confusing when you're new, especially when every job posting expects you to know tools you've never even heard of. So today, I'm breaking down the top 10 free tools real security teams use every day. These tools are beginner friendly, they're used in actual entry level jobs, and they're a perfect roadmap if you want to start your cybersecurity career in 2026. All right, let's jump straight into the list. We're starting with a tool that's simple, free, and instantly useful for beginners. By the time we get to number 1, you'll understand exactly what real security teams expect you to know. Let's start with number 10. VeraCrypt is quite possibly one of the simplest tools on this list, but it teaches a core security concept that shows up everywhere within every cybersecurity position: protecting data at rest. At a basic level, VeraCrypt lets you encrypt drives, folders, or containers so that if a laptop is stolen or a system is accessed without authorization, the data is still unreadable. It provides that same security that you might see from BitLocker or Symmetric Encryption or other enterprise data loss prevention platforms, but the underlying concept is exactly the same. If you're looking for a role as IT security specialist or a GRC analyst, part of your role might be ensuring that employee devices meet those encryption standards. For example, you might be checking whether a company laptops are encrypted to meet HIPAA or PCI compliance standards, and understanding VeraCrypt gives you that hands-on insight into how encryption actually works, not just how to check that compliance box. You can expect an annual salary between $58,000 and $85,000 for an IT security specialist and $55,000 to $80,000 for a compliance analyst. VeraCrypt isn't about chasing alerts. It's about understanding how organizations prevent data exposure before an incident even occurs. Once data is protected on a system, the next question the security teams ask is, what system and services are actually exposed on the network? That leads us to number 9. Nmap is quite possibly one of the most recognizable tools in cybersecurity, and its core purpose is very, very simple. It shows you what's exposed on a network. Defensive teams use Nmap to discover devices, identify open ports, and confirm which services are reachable. In an enterprise environment, this visibility often comes from paid platforms like Tenable or Qualys or managed network monitoring tools, but Nmap teaches the same discovery fundamentals. If you're a SOC analyst or a network security technician, you might be asked to validate whether a server is exposing unnecessary services. And your task is to confirm whether pulling them. For example, a firewall rule currently being updated, your task might be to confirm that only ports 443 and 22 are reachable externally. Running an Nmap scan gives you a clear answer and documented evidence of the proof. You can expect a network security technician to start right around $60,000 to $85,000 for an entry-level position. SOC analyst runs between $55,000 and $75,000, but Nmap teaches a fundamental security mindset. You can't protect what you don't know exists. Once you know what services are exposed, the next logical step is understanding how secure those services actually are. OWASP ZAP is quite possibly one of my favorite tools for web application security, and it helps security teams identify common issues. Even if you never plan to specialize in web security, it's important to understand what these scans can reveal. ZAP performs automated scans that look for things like insecure configurations, outdated components, and common vulnerabilities in web applications. More than that, it provides common security fixes for these same issues. In larger organizations, this same function is often handled by paid tools like Burp Suite Pro, NetSparker, or Acunetics, but ZAP introduces the exact same reporting mindset. If you're working as a security analyst or a junior application security analyst, you may not be the person running the scans in production, but I guarantee you're going to see those ZAP and those Acunetics reports attached to those tickets. Your job might be to review those findings, validate whether it's a real issue, and help prioritize it for remediation. For example, a scan report flags an insecure cookie configuration. You're expected to understand what that means, why it matters, and whether it's a real risk to that enterprise environment. ZAP gives you exposure to each and every one of those workflows. An entry-level position such as security analyst, you can expect to see about $55,000 to $75,000 a year. Application security analyst on the junior level, $65,000 to $90,000 starting out. ZAP helps beginners understand how organizations think about web risk, not how vulnerabilities are discovered, and that's exactly what this tool is going to do for you. Now, instead of scanning applications, let's talk about how security teams quickly evaluate suspicious files and links when those alerts start to come in. Quite possibly one of the most commonly used tools in a SOC environment, VirusTotal allows analysts to quickly check whether a file, link, or IP address is already known to be malicious. When an alert fires, SOC analysts often need to make fast decisions. If this is something new and dangerous, or is it already well known? VirusTotal aggregates results from dozens of antivirus engines and provides metadata that helps answer that question very, very quickly. In enterprise environments, this same intelligence might come from a paid threat intelligence platform like Recorded Future, Anomaly, or CrowdStrike Intelligence, but VirusTotal teaches the same validation workflow. As a SOC analyst, you might receive an alert about a suspicious attachment in an email. Before escalating, you upload the file hash into VirusTotal to see if it's already flagged by multiple vendors. If it is, you document the findings and move it to containment. If it isn't, that tells you the alert may need deeper investigation. Typical starting salary for a SOC analyst, $55,000 to $75,000 a year. Threat intelligence technicians, on the other hand, start around $60,000 to $85,000. VirusTotal teaches an important habit early on in your career. Good security decisions are evidence-based. Quick reputation checks are useful, but eventually security teams need visibility inside the system itself, and that's where login becomes critical. Windows logs are an enormous amount of activity by default, and tools like Sysmon make those logs detailed enough for security teams to actually detect that suspicious behavior. Sysmon enhances Windows logging by recording process creation, network connections, and registry changes, while Event Viewer is where analysts review and investigate that activity. In enterprise environments, this data is usually collected by a paid EDR platform, much like CrowdStrike, SentinelOne, or even Microsoft Defender, but those platforms are built on the same logging concept Sysmon teaches. A SOC analyst, you might be investigating an alert about suspicious PowerShell activity. Your job would be to check Windows logs to see if the process launched it, what command was executed, and whether it made network connections. Sysmon gives you the visibility needed to answer those same questions. As a SOC analyst, you can expect an entry-level salary around $60,000 to $85,000. However, a junior incident response analyst expect a salary right around $65,000 all the way up to $90,000. Understanding Windows logs is one of the fastest ways to become effective in a SOC environment. Logs likely tell you what happened, but sometimes you need to dig a little bit deeper and examine the evidence left behind. That's where our next tool is headed, at number 5. This is one of my favorite digital forensic tools of all time. It's free, it's quick, it's easy to use. Autopsy allows security teams to examine systems after an incident to understand exactly what happened and what evidence remains. It's used to analyze disk images, recover deleted files, and reconstruct user activity. In enterprise forensic teams, this work is often done with paid tools like Encase or FTK, but Autopsy teaches the same investigative workflow for a heck of a lot cheaper. If you're a junior incident response analyst or forensic technician, you might be asked to analyze compromised system image after containment. For example, your task might be to determine whether malware created persistence or access sensitive files. Autopsy gives you hands-on experience with that exact process. As a digital forensics technician, you're looking at a starting salary about $55,000 all the way up to $80,000. A junior incident response analyst, right around $65,000 to $90,000. Autopsy helps beginners connect alerts and logs to real system impact. Once you understand how incidents are investigated, the next goal, of course, is preventing them in the first place. While most people would go after Nessus, the problem is it's cost prohibitive, especially for a beginner in the field. OpenVAS is a free vulnerability scanning tool that helps organizations identify security weaknesses before attackers can exploit them. It scans systems for known vulnerability, produces reports, and prioritizes issues by severity. In an enterprise environment, this same function is often handled by Nessus, Qualys, or even Rapid7, but OpenVAS is still used in enterprise environments today, and it teaches the same vulnerability management lifecycle. As a vulnerability management analyst or a security compliance analyst, you might be responsible for reviewing scan results, tracking remediation, or reporting risk to stakeholders. For example, a scan flags outdated software on a server, and your role is to ensure it gets patched and documented. As a vulnerability management analyst, you can expect a salary of about $60,000 to $90,000 a year. Security compliance analysts, about the same, $55,000 to $80,000. OpenVAS introduces proactive security, reducing risk before incidents even happen. Scanning for vulnerabilities is important, but modern security teams also rely heavily on log data to detect threats in real time. That brings us to our next tool. Probably one of the most difficult tools to truly master, the ELK Stack is a collection of tools used to collect, search, and visualize log data. It forms a foundation of many security monitoring environments. Organizations use ELK to centralize logs and build dashboards, while large enterprises often use paid SIEMs, ELK is widely used by smaller companies and still used in larger organizations today. As a security analyst or junior security engineer, you might use Kibana dashboards to investigate suspicious activity across multiple systems. For example, you may be asked to identify failed login patterns or unusual process behavior using centralized logs. As an IT security analyst, you can expect an entry-level salary right around $60,000 to $85,000 a year. Security engineer, and this is the first time we've seen this one, $65,000 to $95,000. But in my experience, most security engineers usually need about 6 months of experience, and they often start around $75,000. ELK teaches SIEM fundamentals that transfer directly over to other platforms, and quite possibly one of the most valuable tools on this list that you should definitely get to know. ELK is powerful, but there's other platform you'll see mentioned far more often in job postings. That leads us to our next tool. Coming in at number 2, Splunk is one of the most widely used security monitoring platforms in the industry, and learning its basics is almost unavoidable if you want a SOC role. SOC analysts use Splunk daily to search logs, investigate alerts, or correlate activity across systems. Even when organizations use QRadar, Sentinel, or even Sumo Logic, the workflow is nearly identical. As a SOC analyst, you may spend a large part of your shift running searches to investigate alerts. For example, you might search an unusual login activity after a phishing alert to see whether an account was compromised. While the free version may be limited, it's more than enough for learning how searches, dashboards, and alerts actually work. You won't be running a full enterprise SOC on it, but the skills you build, writing searches, filtering logs, and investigating alerts, transfer directly to paid versions used in real jobs. For beginners, Splunk Free is about understanding how security teams think. As a security operations technician, you can expect a starting salary around $58,000. Splunk skills translate directly into job readiness. Obviously, SIEM tools analyze what systems report, but to truly understand what's happening on a network, you need to see the traffic itself, and that's where our number 1 tool comes into play. One of the most powerful and widely respected tools in cybersecurity, Wireshark lets you see exactly what's happening on a network at the packet level. In terms of depth and transparency, there's really nothing out there that matches it. A lot of enterprise products can summarize network activity, and plenty of paid platforms can give you dashboards alert, but Wireshark is different. It shows you the raw truth, what was sent, who sent it, where it went, and how it moved across the network. When teams need to verify what actually happened, not what they think tools told them happened, Wireshark is often the final authority. Here's how this helps show up in real entry-level work. As a SOC analyst or a network security analyst, you might get an alert that looks like data exfiltration, suspicious DNS activity, or strange outbound connections. Your job is to confirm whether it's legitimate or malicious. With Wireshark, you can inspect the conversation, identify the protocol, examine patterns like repeated beaconing, and prove what the traffic really is. Entry-level position for SOC analyst usually runs about $55,000 a year, with a network analyst right around $60,000. Wireshark is one of those tools where even basic proficiency puts you ahead because so many students fail to understand its true power and concepts. It teaches you how networks truly behave, and that knowledge transfers literally everywhere in cybersecurity. If you take even one thing away from this video, let it be this. Cybersecurity jobs don't require you to know everything. They require you to understand the right tools and how they're actually used. Every tool we cover today is free. Everyone maps directly to a real entry-level role, and everyone represents a skill that shows up in job postings even right now. You don't need expensive software or a massive lab to get started. You need the fundamentals and the ability to think like a security professional. If you're serious about getting into cybersecurity in 2026, pick 2 or 3 tools from the list and just go deep. Learn it, master it, know it. Learn how they're used, why they matter, and how security teams rely on them on a day-to-day work schedule. That alone will put you ahead of most applicants. Comment below which tool you want a full walkthrough next, and I'll build the next video around what you want to learn. If this video helped you, hit that like button so more beginners can find it, and subscribe if you're building your own cybersecurity career right now. I'll see you in the next one. I'm Dr. K.